Aha! It is us. Last one of the year. I'm sure you're all thankful. We are back for another talk spot.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, it's been an interesting year.
Got you right. I can't fucking wait for it to be over.
Uh,
I don't want to be one of those twats that's like, oh, 2025 is looking better. I'm really fucking hoping though that 2025 is looking better.
you just got to move forward, don't you?
Yeah.
Like life is shit. There's no if buts or maybes about it. Life in general is shit. It's
Mm-hmm.
always been shit. It's always going to be shit. It's just up to us to try and make it a bit less shit for ourselves.
Pretty much. A
You know what I
little
mean?
help would be nice, definitely. I wouldn't complain about that, but that is the usual going way.
It just seems to be we're in an environment where the more you want to be left alone, the more people want to get in your face. It's
Oh yeah.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's like I just want to do my little bit, be productive, crack on, and
Mhm.
if you don't like me, fine. If you do, good. But apart from that, it just seems to be the random elements in the world can't leave you alone. It's just
Right.
very, very strange. Anyway, I broke and watched Heretic last night.
Yeah, getting the play-by-play, it's like, wow, I didn't see that one going quite the way it did.
It wasn't a bad movie. I'll have to say it wasn't a bad movie. I hate Hugh Grant. I despise him. He just irritates. He's a knob. You ever listen to him talking off the screen as well? He's a complete utter knob.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever listened to him in an
No,
interview
listen to
or
him in
anything.
interviews and stuff. He's a fucking arsehole of the
That's
highest
funny.
order. He's just an unpleasant person. You just see him and all his stuff at the beginning was rom coms, off of that audience and stuff. And now he's another actor. Oh, I know, I'll do horror now because horror fans are easy.
I mean, he won me over.
He played a good part. I'll give him that. He went back to his almost originally. He dropped the gangster one that he does for like a gentleman and stuff. He's played that for a few roles, and he's almost went back to his original, leafy suburbs, middle class Londoner, randomly in the middle of America.
I mean, that's how it goes.
At least Hugh Laurie puts on an accent and blends in,
Dude, Hugh Laurie is still the first time I heard him talk with his actual voice blew my fucking mind. I was like, oh my god, this dude's not American. It's
That
just
was
like god damn it, what's his name? Ryan Quatten. I don't know if you know who that is.
I'm not familiar.
He was in like True Blood, Knights of Badassdom.
I need to watch that again. I have not seen that in decades.
Okay, so True Blood then. I was like, which one? Yeah, man, that's a show that just it wasn't any good, but I loved every second of it except the very ending.
It did fall off. I don't know. There was a sense of fun about it.
Well, that's
And
what it
self
was.
awareness. I think it wasn't taking itself too seriously. So we went along for the ride.
Mm-hmm.
And then it started taking itself seriously. And then you went, no, don't do that.
So never really got that. It was like literally just the final ending. Like there was a point in the finale where it should have ended and it would have been perfect. And then it went on just a little bit longer to that picnic scene. And it's like, we didn't need that.
They did that as well with Prison Break. If you remember that old show.
Oh, I never watched that.
Yeah, they just ripped it. It was a good first season. The idea of the second season was all right. And then it just didn't know when to stop. And they're doing it with they have another Dexter series coming out now.
Dude,
Fucking,
I'm watching
really?
Original Sin right now, and it is amazing. It feels like the original show, like the first couple seasons of
Is that
the
the
original
prequel?
show. Yeah. Dude, it's killer. And the casting is fucking amazing. Like specifically, like as far as looks are concerned, Batista and Maria are fucking like you're gonna be confused when you first see them if you end up watching it because you're like, God damn, do they like deep fake these motherfuckers to make them look younger? And no, they just cast amazingly. There, and this is probably the first time I've ever seen Christian Slater in a role where I actually liked him, like thought he was a good actor. So it's I think it's worth it.
Yeah, he's a strange one.
The thing is, I like his movies. I don't like him usually. I think he's pretty much like textbook definition would make.
I still wanted them to do the Vampire Lestat just purely to
Oh,
see Christian Slater and Antonio Banderas voices each other down the shower, just to see how much of a fucking horror show that would be.
oh my god!
Because you know, like the two characters fucking end up in a relationship.
Oh
Armand
god!
and the
Yeah.
what was Christian Slater's character, the reporter, and they're the fucking scene where they're washing each other down the shower. I'm like,
yeah.
and you just see their two actors' faces. And you're like, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. What the fuck?
No. Let's see. What the fuck was his name? That's gonna bug the shit out of me. Oh yeah, Daniel Malloy. Jesus Christ. It's been a year or two since I've read that series, so it takes a minute.
Oh, yeah, see,
yeah, I honestly always forget that he's in there because he's that forgettable in that role.
Oh well, it's yeah, he's not an actor I know that well. You know, he's one of them names that was bandied about throughout the 80s and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from an interview with a vampire, like he's done nothing memorable.
The Heathers.
But him?
Yeah, he's a lead in the Heathers.
I barely register him. You know, I mean, I remember the character. I remember the three. Obviously, I've watched the Heathers a few times and a lot of fun. But him, I'm not like going, Christian Slater. Do you know what I mean?
No. I agree. I feel you. Honestly, like my wife and I
that's the point of making him as an actor. He doesn't make an impact, and he's not even Gary Oldman good. Where you find out afterwards, Gary Oldman was in the movie, and you're like, holy shit! Oh, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, he's not that good. He's grey, he's beige, he's just there.
Yeah. No, it's funny. So, you know, the Interview with the Vampire, fantastic film. Like, I love it. My wife loves it. Last night we were trying to figure out what other roles Christian Slater's been in, because she's like, yeah, I can't think of anything that he's been in. And I had a reminder of the Heathers, which is a movie we watch at least once a year.
Yeah, but he's forgettable.
Well, it's funny because Interview with the Vampire, that is one that anytime.
Oh shit. Oh no, he's broke. Come back to us, Cameron. God, he's got that excited. He's broke the internet. Yeah, God, the Heathers, I have not seen that in years. Was Winona Ryder or not? God, I can't remember. I remember it's the three girls. They're all called Heathers and they're school bullies and blah, blah, blah. Hopefully he'll be back on in a second. Yeah, the whole plot line, I can't remember. God, it's been years. That was a movie of its time. When did the Heathers come out? In the 90s? That was like a murder mystery, wasn't it? 1988. A late clique of snobby girls known as the Heathers reign supreme. Yeah. God, he was not. Yeah, Winona Ryder. Yeah, Kim Walker. Yeah. Could remember that now. Oh, what's her face? Sharon Doherty. God, she's horrendous. She's one of them actors as well. She's another, like, apparently horrible to work with. Yeah, God. Why did Heathers flop? Did it? Nah, it's a puff piece. Right. Yeah, tangent time. Oh boy, right. Hang on. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, put it back in a second. Yeah, God. Christian Slater. Yeah, I cannot think. Let me look him up here actually while we're here. Just Christian Slater. What else he been in? Like, the only one I actually remember him was Interview with the Vampire. Like, apart from that, Heather's True Romance. God, he's in that. Name of the Rose. Once again, can you remember him? Like he's just that. He's in these movies, but welcome back.
Hi, I'm back.
Yeah.
Sorry, I made the cardinal sin of putting my foot on the footrest underneath my computer. My cat apparently was fucking with the wires again, and I just unplugged everything.
Oh man.
Yeah, so won't be doing that again.
He was in Robin Hood. Oh god, he was in Robin Hood, Princess Diaries, Broken Arrow. Holy shit! There you go.
Oh,
There's Broken Arrow, right?
that's a
He's in that.
terrible
He's a main.
fucking movie.
He's the main protagonist, and you can't fucking remember him.
I mean, to be fair, I haven't watched Broken Arrow since it came out because I don't do John Travolta movies. Right? That was John Travolta.
Yeah, it was John Travolta.
Yeah.
He was the
Like,
villain.
with the exception of Face Off, which I still need to make Jana watch because she's never watched that fucking travesty of a movie. Yeah.
Oh my god, the Nicolas Cage intro scene's worth that movie alone.
Dude, that's a movie is so fucking stupid, and I love it.
Once again, that's just Nicolas Cage going, "You're paying me to do this? Fuck yeah!"
Yeah. You know what? More
Once
power
again,
to
Name
him.
of the Rose, Sean Connery special. But Christian Slater was in that too. Probably an important role, but can you remember him? No, because he must have a curse. He must have a curse to be in every major production, but be
His
forgotten.
curse is that he can't act.
That's never stopped Hollywood.
But like I said, at least with this new Dexter series, Original Sin, like he's actually pretty good. Is he as good as the original Harry? No, not even close.
Is that who he's playing?
Yeah. But he is pretty damn good.
No, fair one. Anyway, talking about, I'm really conflicted with this first article.
I'm surprised. I mean, surprised and not surprised, because it's like, if you're gonna do it right, that's how you should fucking do it.
Oh yeah, right. So there are no CGI in it, but this started off a whole series of events which I have been covering. Noah Hawley said, like, way about a year and a half ago, how he was going back to basics and he was ignoring everything Prometheus and Covenant related.
Which is good. Definitely the way to go.
Ridley Scott had a fucking hissy fit, and he has decided now that he's taken over ownership of the Alien franchise because it should have been his kingdom to reign over. That's what all this is, and that's why he stuck his fingers into Romulus. And you can see it. This is why I've got concerns. I was looking forward to this, and I think the team behind it have the best intentions, but I'm worried that Scott and his fucking megalomania is going to stick his fingers into the pie and squish it up and ruin the pastry. And he's just going to be like, really, Scott. Oh, by the way. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, that's fucking fantastic.
So I need to get a photo, and then there will be pins going into this. He knows me too well.
Yeah, that shit's so fucking funny.
But yeah, no CGI. So people were saying with just the 10, 20-second teaser. There's only been 2 teasers out so far. Less than 30 seconds worth of featurette. They're giving nothing away. So they've obviously got an embargo in the marketing department. Yeah, you have to have an embargo in the marketing department. The marketing departments are the ones that ruin movies now.
Well, yes and no. A lot of companies choose to let them do that because at the end of the day, the people in charge of the movie, like the people that are actually in charge of the movie, they're the ones that say what happens and what doesn't happen. And I mean, that's just the whole Disney model of advertising. They want to give everything away because people are fucking stupid and want to know everything they're getting into.
I don't like people. You probably know that anyway.
Gasp.
I know. Shock horror, eh? Which is strange because I interact with loads of people and I'm always doing stuff, but yet I don't like people. How
It
do I reconcile that?
it's I come to terms with that years ago because I'm a tattoo artist. So I mean that's just kind of a lot of our MOs. Like we deal with the general public, and it's great. It's fun. We love it. Outside of work, no, I don't want to people at all.
Yeah, it's just one of them. You do it when you have to, but it's like, nah, I can't be bothered because it's because of this. Most people are dull. They're dullards. They can't have any sort of excitement or mystery in their life whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And especially over movies, they need to know exactly what they're going to be watching before they go in. You're just like, piss off. But yeah, everyone thought that was a CGI xenomorph head. It turns out, no, they've actually went and made it and they're doing it all practical.
As it fucking should be. Thing is, there's just something about especially with a creature like a xenomorph where they're very shiny. I mean, it's a fucking dude in a latex suit
Yeah.
covered in KY jelly. Like you don't get that same texture and vibe and stuff when it's a goddamn computer and the lighting is weird. There's something so beautiful about it being practical. It makes it real.
Yeah, it's the mucus. I think it's all down to that. It makes it a living being
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to jumpy spinny thing,
Mm-hmm.
which they did in Romulus. Like that had so much potential, that movie.
Yeah, and it's like the parts that were actually practical were fantastic. And it's like it was glaringly obvious when they went from something being practical to something not being practical. And it's like, ugh.
Yeah, it was like two
Like
rocks
CG's
sort of.
fine. CG's great because you use it as a tool to elevate your
Mhm.
practical effects. Like you get rid of wires, you get rid of the green screen. Like there's things that you can do with CGI and no one will know.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, you need to have something practical on screen to fuck with.
and that's you talk about all the Disney stuff. Like you can tell the actors and all are looking at green screen, like they're just
Mm-hmm.
looking into the void and tennis balls and stuff, and they're not physically in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Where you compare that to something where there's actually sets being built and they've got a physicality to them, and the characters are interacting with their surroundings. Like look at all the 80s, like Pumpkinhead and all, and Rawhead Rex and movies like that, Leprechaun, where they actually built sets. There's dirt on the ground and
Mm-hmm.
there's a physicality and the actors are actually working with that. You can tell they're in the
Yeah.
zone.
Yeah, man. I mean, look at the first trilogy of Star Wars. Look at the second trilogy. We're not going to talk about the third one for obvious reasons, but like the idea of just being on a giant green set. It's like, what the fuck good is that? I mean, yeah, that's definition acting, but it's not like you're actually living in that space.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a shame.
But it's a fast food joint. Chuck it out, easy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not do anything. Oh, what, we're having to spend half the budget again on reshoots. What could have went wrong? I mean, you can understand a scene here, a scene there, but when half the movie has to get redone again every time and they lose money, you're like, maybe it's not a good model. Maybe stop.
Right. Nope, it's everybody else. It's the fans' fault.
Oh yes. Oh, have I got a convert? Have you finally? Have I finally broken through after
Not
4
even
years?
remotely.
Is this my
No,
Christmas present?
no, not at all. The thing is, I understand that shit. I do. I still stick with shit because there's got to be something else. Like, I mean, specifically, we're talking Star Wars, of course, and or season 2. That's why I stick around with this shit because if it's even half as good as the first season, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, but didn't they do that with the other ones? Wasn't there another show that was
No,
equally
the
good? And then they went
Mandalorian
back?
was season 3. Season 3 fucking sucked, but season 2 was fantastic.
Fair enough. Like I say, I'm checked out. I know I gave up years ago. In fact, after the prequels, I was sort of on the edge and like really, but it's been like back to Dexter after season 6 burned me in 7.
I
Like after
honestly,
season 4, you could see them being confused in season 5 in the original series. Just oh shit, we just killed our main character and the main hook that was the whole central plot to the entire journey of Dexter. What do we do now? Oh shit, we don't have an idea. Oops.
I really don't remember the last season or two.
Oh, the
I do remember like the ending being like, huh,
yeah, that was abysmal.
but yeah, I don't know. I loved that show. I guess I'm mostly just biased because the Trinity season was some of the greatest
Yeah, that
television
was season
ever.
4. That was like that was the pinnacle. But they
Mhm.
shouldn't have killed Rita. That's where they fucked
They
up.
had to kill Rita.
But
That shit made perfect sense.
they left themselves with nowhere to go because it was Dexter's journey to humanity.
Yeah,
That
but
was the
that
whole
was
point
what
of the
made it
show.
interesting was like how do you retain this facade of being a real normal person when the catalyst for that is gone? And then he realizes, "Oh, it's the kids."
Hmm. But even that, the should have messed that up. Like I said, the way they executed it was just awful and just fell. Season 5 was confused, and I think it worked. The reason season 5 hasn't hit it is because we were all confused and sort of stunned after like I said, the killing of Rita, and everyone was trying to figure out. But then season 6 and 7 was just abysmal. So it was hard to
Yeah, I need
like
to go
even
back
look
through
at Original Sin, to be honest, because it was just like, nah, what are they doing? Have they
it.
not beaten
Like I
this
said,
horse
man,
enough?
Original Sin was great. I did love the whatever the fucking last one was. Um the one where he's dating some Indian cop. Like I thought it was great. Wasn't amazing, wasn't the best Dexter, but it was pretty damn good.
Hmm.
This shit, it like I said, this feels like early seasons of the first Dexter.
Yeah, I think they're going to try. If Scott doesn't stick his beak in, that's where it's going to go wrong. And he is determined at the moment. Like even up to recently, an article come out, and there are all these puff pieces of how he should have taken over the Alien franchise. And you're like, why? And he's just systematic. He's just I don't know what it is. Is it a certain age thing? Is it an ego thing that they can't retire gracefully or pass the torch or even mentor someone else? I don't get it.
Well, the thing I don't understand is like if you want to have that much control, just if it's your franchise, you take control. Um,
But it's
but
not. He was only
yeah,
brought in for the first movie, last minute, and the franchise, like you're talking 20, 30 years after that, at least more 40, 79, yeah, fucking try 40 years after the first one, and so many movies have happened since. Like it's not even funny. And
yeah.
Prometheus and Covenant really rub people up the wrong way. I know you've got your diehards and
Yeah,
shitsters that
I was I did not understand the lore behind them. Like the thing was, Prometheus was a beautiful movie. I'll give them that. I could not tell you the plot of Prometheus, and I've watched it probably like 3 times. It was so fucking boring, and Covenant was just structurally all over the place, to the point where it just didn't even make sense to do the things that they did. Uh, yeah, I don't get it.
yeah, and he got rubbed up the wrong way, and he's been plotting his. That was supposed to be his great comeback. It didn't happen,
No.
and he can't get over it.
Yeah, another example of how it's very likely everybody else's fault, not his.
Mm. He's a horrible man. He's a horrible person. He's just a gnarly individual, and he just needs to go away. But yeah, I don't know about the xenomorphs on Earth because that was meant to be Earth's meant to be the last line that doesn't get crossed, and I also don't know why the story isn't moving forward. Like they keep going back, and it's almost like they're trying to retread over the original. and you're just like, why?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like look at Predator. Like that's a franchise that's about the same as Aliens, but
Mm.
like they're constantly doing new shit with it, and it doesn't matter if it changes like old canon and stuff. Like they write a solid script and they release a solid movie.
Apart from the Predator.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why I didn't watch Prey.
yeah.
I think I've talked about this before. It's like that film broke me with the franchise. I'm just like, huh? Like Predators was a bit ropey, but it was all right. It was fun romp. I wasn't banned. I didn't want to go too much into the tribes fighting each other. It was a bit silly. But the Predator, just I give up.
Fair. I don't think I ever watched that one.
Be thankful then. Honestly, it's when you talk about bad movies. Oh god, that is just painful. That's a painful experience. But yeah,
On to happier news.
I want to be wrong about this.
Mhm.
I do. I genuinely want to be wrong. I want to see a good series, and I want to enjoy myself in the Alien universe. There's so much you can play with, especially I haven't played the role playing game, which we're now starting back on the 15th, is it?
Nice.
Oh, good. It is the 15th. Yep. We are back to Heart of Darkness, so we're finishing off that. When you actually see the universe that's been built, and not just Weyland-Yutani, but the other companies, and not just United Americas, but Three World Empire and United Peoples, Progressive Peoples as well, and the interpolitical going ons and the wars and stuff that can be interspersed with all this. It's a great universe. And they never got past the xenomorph. Yes, the xenomorph's an icon, but the whole point of Alien, I thought, was there's gnarly stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you go deeper into the abyss, the more gnarly things you're going to find. But yeah, we've done extensive reviews on the channel anyway of all these, and they just couldn't get past Ellen Ripley. That's what broke them with the first 4 movies.
Mm-hmm.
They just couldn't get past her character. They couldn't think of a way to move forward, which is ridiculous considering the world building they've done.
Yeah. Well, it's like I love that character, but yeah, it's like she really wasn't needed that far into the franchise.
Yeah.
First 2 made sense. Third one's good, but Resurrection. Like I loved it when I was a kid, because I was a kid, and then watching it my later years, it's like
it's pure cringe. It's dear. Yeah. So I suppose we'll wait and see. It's not long now. It's next month, isn't it? I think it's a release and start of the year. I think it might be mid to late January. So we haven't got too long to go. Anyway, it'll be before Easter anyway. Yeah, look at the suit. That suit looks good.
Mm-hmm.
No sign.
Yeah, no, I said yeah, it looks good.
No, I meant I thought you were looking up when it was starting.
No, I'm not looking up anything.
I thought you were looking up stuff. That's why I was sort of stalling a bit.
Nope, just
sorry, I saw you there and I saw the fingers. I'm like, oh right, he's googling when it's meant to start.
No, sorry, but I'm talking to my dad right now. So,
all right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
Attempting to multitask.
Multitask, never good.
Yeah, it's never ever a good idea.
Yeah. But there we go. There is that. You'll enjoy this because.
Oh yeah, man! When I read this article,
I think I need to go back over these again. I don't know. There's just I don't know why they landed wrong with me.
Wait, even the second one?
I need to go back to the second one again, I think, because of do you know when you go in?
Yeah, you definitely need to go back into the second one.
So the Puniverse is happening, and they're just
I'm dying, man. I'm
going for it.
I can't wait for the next one. Which is so funny because supposedly the next one is supposed to be Pinocchio.
Bambi not coming yet?
That's the thing. Like when I saw it in theaters, when I saw the second one, I think it was, that was their whole thing, was they had softly announced that Bambi was going to be the next one in line. But it seems like, because it's, I'm trying to remember what the fuck is next.
Pinocchio.
Is it
Peter? Right. So yeah, because Winnie the Pooh, Blood and
what's coming out next?
2 of those have come out.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. I haven't seen that yet. I don't know if that's actually out.
It hasn't come out yet.
Right. I've seen the teaser trailer for Bambi: The Reckoning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what was supposed to come out next, but supposedly it's Pinocchio that's next.
Keep an eye out. So
sorry, apparently
Pinocchio
I got cat locked in here.
Is then
just a second.
I think what's happened, the Steamboat Willie thing, I think's interjected. So got a load of Steamboat Willie movies coming out, and animals are great. This is why I don't have the birds in here, because it would just be chaos. If I had the birds in here, it would just be. But yeah, I think the Steamboat Willie movies come in and kind of threw a spanner in the works, and I think they've maybe pulled things back while all those movies got dropped.
I don't know, because like it's like the idea, if I remember correctly, was to do one a year, and I don't know. Like it's not something necessarily that's new. The whole, let's make a fucking funny movie about an IP that's public property now.
I know it's been
so it's like I don't necessarily think that's had anything to do with any of it. Oh
no, I'm just thinking for releases. You know why they dropped a whole bunch of those movies, and maybe they thought, okay, the market's been swamped a bit. Let's step back. Let them all.
Looks like they're supposed to drop first quarter of 2025. So both of them actually. So that'll be fun.
And the thing is, these wouldn't have been affected by the writer's strike because they're indie productions. And it's ITN Studios, so it's nothing to do with Hollywood.
Well, so the writer's strike, no, but the SAG strike, if any of them are SAG members, then yes. Because SAG and the writers union, those they were striking together.
They did a joint thing, yeah.
Yeah, so it is something. I mean, granted, all they had to do was get a fucking pass, because let's fight for our rights. But well, I mean, you guys can get an exception, because why actually stick to our laurels?
Yeah, I just I don't understand how the actors got. Like, is that every actor in the world, if you're an actor, you have to be part of this, or
No, it's specifically if you're a union member, because it's the unions that were striking, not the industry.
Yeah, so like I said, ITN Studios is a UK company, and they're basically indie productions anyway. So I don't know if I don't think it was an issue, is basically what I'm trying to say.
I'm sure it wasn't. I mean, that's how a lot of people did the workaround anyways, was doing outside of the States productions. But this was something that already was anyways.
Yep.
I'm not 100% sure on the casting and stuff and where everybody stands. So who knows? But the thing is,
we're getting Mary Poppins anyway. That's the Mary Poppins into the mix.
I fucking love it. And I especially can't wait for all of this to come together and just be this big train wreck of a fucking Avengers movie. It's going to be
carnage.
So fucking stupid and beautiful. So the thing is, I love the trajectory of where they're taking this shit, because the first one was great. I really enjoyed it. Like, I understand why there's a lot of people that didn't like it. I do, but I also like stupid fucking movies, and it was a stupid fucking movie that was fantastic. The second one completely, I don't want to say it changed where it was going, but it felt different than the first one, but it made the first one make sense in the context of the coming universe. So, like, I'm really excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, I think that was it. That was it's all an experiment or something aspect.
That wasn't an experiment. It's basically they Halloween 3'd the first film. Like, that was a movie inside of 2. But it wasn't, like Tom Atkins watching Halloween at a bar. That was essentially a dramatization of what happened. So yeah, I fucking love it. I thought it was brilliant.
I think I need to watch the second one again. I
Yes,
think I think it might be the tonal change that I find a bit difficult.
It catches you off guard initially, but once you understand what's going on, it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, well, we'll see anyway. But yeah, just it was tongue in cheek, bit of a laugh. Are they going to deep fake Julie Andrews? Because that'll be funny.
That would be
And
absolutely
if she
hilarious.
sings as well, she would need to sing and just do little musical numbers as she has to stab people with the umbrella. That has to be the murder weapon.
Yeah, of course it's going to be the murder weapon. If it's anything other than like a fucking bag of random nonsense and an umbrella, it'd be weird.
Yeah. That'll be a challenge, actually, because there's going to be a lot of wire work, and she has to fly. Come on, there's no way that she's going to just walk about. She has to fly and land on people.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and she has to like be, all right, children, stab. Put them to bed, like or the clown does in Terrifier 3, like put them to bed with their heads removed and stuff. Has to do all that sort of gnarly shit, but with a sort of a sing and a smile and a
right. What I really want to see her like drag
joke.
somebody up a chimney, because like, of course, she could go up and down it just fine. They can't. So yeah, I definitely want to see.
And she has her hand, and only the hand comes out. And oh dear, are you still down there? Oh, yeah. They have to do it like that. My concern is that there's an element of taking yourself a wee bit too seriously with the second one, but I know they're playing with the dark edge of it, but we need that sort of jokey, jovial, light lilt of the children's movie, but gnarly things are happening, because that's what's going to me, that's messing with it, and having fun. We'll see. Yeah, I'll have to see what the Pinocchio one's like. I think that'll be the next one. Whatever the next movie comes out, if it's either Bambi or Pinocchio, and what it looks like, that's going to give us an indication.
Well, they're supposed to be coming out pretty goddamn close together, so within the first 4 months, or 3 months rather. So yeah, we'll see.
Yep. There you go. There's that. Got loads of stuff happening today, and yeah, I suppose before we jump into the vault, which we didn't plan this, by the way, so don't blame us.
Yeah, this was discussed like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
so it's coincidence.
Yeah, the movie we were going to do was I've not seen it, the New Year's Day, because bastards. So we did something else, but yeah, Olivia Hussey, Hussey, star of Black Christmas, the movie we're about to talk about, literally passed. Was it yesterday?
It was like 2 days ago, I think. I don't
just
remember.
Late Friday. I was like late on, but I mean, this just happened as we said this, and I was like, holy shit, universe is a strange thing. But yeah, she had breast cancer from 2008, so she was battling it. You know, she was doing well. Hi, Friday. Sorry, it was Friday. Yeah, it was late.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could have swore it was Friday.
The Argentina-born actress died at home, surrounded by her loved ones. Well, there you go. That's not the worst way to go, is it?
Well, I mean, it depends if you like them or not.
They're all scrambling for their bit in the will. Oh, yeah, no thanks. Yeah, 2000. Oh, sorry, 2008. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, it's a long fucking time.
yeah, and I don't know if she went into remission or anything, or was it always there? I don't know the ins and outs, but yeah, that's what's took her at the end of the day. But that is sad. That's just like having the X over your neck.
Oh yeah,
No one is going to drop at any moment. Romeo and Juliet is my least favorite Shakespeare play.
it is pretty boring. I haven't seen the version she was in. I actually just recently bought it, so just barely found out about it, and was like, "Oh, hey, Criterion's having a sale. Cool, I need that." But yeah, it's I don't know. I fucking hate kids, so that's yeah, especially teenagers, and yeah, it's oh no, we're sad and we can't be together. Let's die. Okay.
Yeah, it's just God. Yeah, Chris and I were covering Kindred, the Embraced, and they did a Romeo and Juliet episode, and I mean, it was awful. The whole thing was awful, but I mean, it was just awful of awful.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, would you stop this already? I've still not watched that one with what's his face, the modern one, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, the modern one
still
that
have
was
not
done like
watched
30
that.
years ago. Yeah, it was
I
interesting.
had
It's
no
not
interest.
good. Probably the only fun part of it, and I'm not going to say good, is fuck, why can't I think of his name? Jesus Christ, hold on. Let me a second, let me look it up. John Leguizamo. God damn it. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. Like, he was good in it. I'm not going to say great, because there wasn't really anything good about that movie. But yeah, his role, he understood the assignment and went with it. Everybody else, it was sort of like, how do we make this sound hip and cool and whatever other flash words you can throw in there and make it modern, but still use the vernacular of the original play. It was weird.
Yeah, no, not my thing. No interest at the time. I've no interest in seeing it now. Just
Fair. I would be, just because it's such a snapshot of the early 90s, but that's about the only reason why.
Yeah. 90s were not my favorite decade. But
Definitely
looking
not.
at the mid 2000s to now, I find myself with a lot of forgiveness in my heart. Yeah, she's been in some strange one. Jesus of Nazareth, Mother Teresa, Death, and a lot of sort of period dramas.
Mm-hmm. It was funny because she was such a serious thespian, and yeah, it's like some of the horror movies that she's done, it's like that's what I know her from.
Yeah.
And I think she's fantastic in that shit.
What else? Out of 1,000 Days, True Grit. Oh, the original one. God, the remake with Kurt Russell was the girl in it that played her character was robotic as hell.
Yeah, I never bothered. I
like Kurt Russell.
Not a fan of westerns or Kurt
Oh.
Russell.
I don't know, man. You're wrong.
I mean, I'm also Indian, so I have a genetic disposition to not like westerns. The one that got me was, and I've watched this a million fucking times, but I always forget that she was in It, like the original miniseries.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like, well, of course she was. She was Bill's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fantastic. And it's a shame
He was
that,
the actress. He was the
that
other
was the
main
actress he
part.
was dating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Gerbs that whole plot line. Voice actress. Yeah, just busy around. Like you can't say she was typecast.
Mm-hmm.
She was busy.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, still 73. Young, quite young to go. Shame.
I don't know. I don't want to live that long. That just seems too damn long.
If I'm having a quality of life, I don't mind. If I'm going to be in a nursing home, nah.
Oh yeah, no, I'll fucking kill myself before I get to that point. Especially because I don't have kids or anybody that's going to take care of me if I get to that point.
Yeah, it's I'd rather not. I'd rather just go quickly.
Pretty much.
But there you go.
On to happier news.
Yeah. Well,
I guess not news.
I suppose this is a good time to celebrate her, like the role that we all know her from.
Mm-hmm.
Let's dive into the vault, shall we?
Hell yeah. This one still blows my fucking mind because when we were talking about what to watch, because originally we had a plan of what we were going to watch, but
Yeah,
distribution systems, archaic distribution systems that are a very leading cause of piracy, of course, made it so that we couldn't discuss it. But yeah, text you, it's like, hey, why don't we discuss a Christmas horror movie? Have we talked about this one? Then it's like, fuck, we haven't done any Christmas horror movies. And you're like, I don't even know if I've seen that. And
yeah, I think I have, but it's one of them could I remember sort of thing.
Which just blows my mind because this is 1974's Black Christmas.
Yep.
This is arguably one of the original slashers. This was right before Halloween, which everybody thinks of as the OG slasher. And this is a movie that I watch at least 2 or 3 times a year. Like, of course, it's in my regular Christmas rotation. Like, this is usually one of the first movies we watch when we start doing Christmas movies. But I mean, it's just a solid slasher. So I'll watch it throughout the year. Like, so goddamn good.
This is a slow burn.
Oh, you mean it's a story and it
has rush, bodies falling all over the place and the usual fare of like an 80s slasher. This isn't it.
Well, no, this
is
what started. I mean, look at Halloween. Halloween was the same way.
Yeah, I'm not disparaging it. I'm just saying that if somebody's watching this back expecting 80s slasher, you're going to be shocked.
Yeah.
This is what I love about the 70s. There had a certain way of camera work and building atmosphere, which I think they need to try and bring back in the movies.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, this isn't, apart from the technology, this is still gripping. You know what I mean? This still gets you. Where a lot of stuff, especially 80s slashers, are comical now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This isn't.
It was like the mid to late 80s. That was when the flip switched, and it was a spectacle. It wasn't a story. Which I'm definitely not talking shit because I love that stuff. But yeah, this was just a magical time in storytelling that I really feel we only get with certain production companies and certain directors / writers. Like, it's not really something we get anymore. maybe Robert Edgers, early Ty West, like pre-X Ty West, A24. That's really about it. Like no one else tells a story like this era.
And that's what it was about. It's not about the visual effects. It's about making you feel dread. And there's an almost non-filtered aspect about it. Like the first kill and the way she just left. And she's in the trailer as well. And the girl with a bag over her head. Like there's something about the 70s could do a bag over the head like nobody else.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Like that. You feel that. You think they've actually just killed that poor girl just for the movie. Like it just looks that good. Like I said, I miss that aspect. Yeah, of course, there's cheesy aspects like the point of view camera and the heavy breathing at the very beginning. But you forgive that very quickly because, like I said, just the rest of this is just it's simple as well. It's not overcomplicated. There's one thing that got me thinking as well. Margot Kidder. Everyone knows her for the Superman movies, but she's a bit of a scream queen.
That's hilarious. I always forget that she was in Superman movies because I don't care for Superman. Yeah, that's how I've always known
general
her.
audience, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, she's always been like a staple in horror movies for me.
It's something that maybe people don't realize that I was loads of them. She was in Halloween. She was in Halloween 2, wasn't it? The Amityville, the original Amityville horror. God, she was in anthologies.
Oh yeah, tons of anthologies.
Tons of horror anthologies. Like loads of stuff. Like she would not be out of place at a horror convention.
No. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess not really.
With her back catalog, she would not have been out of place.
See, I mean, I was more so thinking because she's dead, she would be kind of. She'd be kind of out of place, not so much out of place.
Just thinking the corpses. Sorry, film I watched recently that I reviewed, Heavier Trip. Have you seen that? The fucking yes, backstage corp for Emma. I'm on a mark.
Wait,
just all the black metal jokes.
Gotcha.
There's just that stuff. It wouldn't surprise me at a horror convention. He just wheels up a corpse and just leaves it there. And
yeah.
But yeah, during her time, like everyone focused on her Superman stuff. But yeah, she's a horror actress.
Oh yeah,
it's quite an impressive back catalog as well.
Definitely. It's so funny too, because like even in this, she's not the the main protagonist, but god damn it, every time she's on screen, she just chews the scenery.
She's something about her. She's not what I would say traditionally hot. In terms of Hollywood.
She was totally 70s hot. Absolutely 70s hot.
But she has a thing about her, she personality and just a presence on screen. I actually thought Olivia Hussey's character was the least sympathetic in this. What was it, Jess?
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get the impression she was a pleasant person.
That's funny because I just the thing is for me, and it's probably just because I've watched it so many fucking times. It's always like you kind of wonder why she has the, I guess, aura of her for the first little bit of the movie, and then you find out that she's getting ready to have an abortion, and this whole time she's freaking out because she's got to tell her boyfriend. And she already kind of knows where it's going to go. So that sort of explains, at least to me, why she is acting the way she's acting. And yeah, because I mean, I can imagine that's quite the heavy thing to have to tell somebody. But I've always kind of understood it, and it's like with Oh my god, sorry, I'm just had a brain fart. I'm running like no sleep, people. But anyways, she's the like the counterpoint to Jess's character. Like they balance each other out up until she's gone.
Yeah, like it's a sorority house. They're all getting ready for the holidays and all going off to do things. And obviously, Barb, she invites everybody to go on a skiing trip or something, and it's like she's inviting them to go to a funeral or a wake. It's like
right.
she's
Well, I mean, she'd rather stay at the sorority house and get plastered than go hang out with her family and not get plastered. I get it.
yeah, it's like one of them. Yeah, I don't want to do it, and she's making it sound like she just want to come up to the ski cabin. Oh, it's so horrible. I never did skiing. Tried a couple of times. It's like, nah, not for me.
Nah,
I have no interest in the culture or the people. A lot of just
that's bougie white people stuff. I'm cool without that.
yeah, it's no interest. Yeah, and obviously this is a sign of its times, which young kids today won't understand. But we had these things called crank calls, and they were fun.
I mean, my roommate still gets them to this day.
Yeah,
yeah, usually every couple of weeks. People calling from a private number to harass him. It's pretty funny.
that has to be somebody who knows him.
Oh, 100%. It's
That's
basically it's one of my brother's friends. I'm pretty fucking sure. It's dumb as hell. Like personally, I just wouldn't answer the fucking phone. Like if it says private, I'm not answering it.
Mm-hmm. Leave a message, don't get back to you. But yeah, it's really that important. Yeah, I generally don't answer private numbers usually. Some cold caller, but crank calls. I mean, just random people randomly calling people was a thing.
Oh yeah,
you'd pick up the phone and some pervert be on the other end, and God, this guy really sells it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Billy is absolutely fantastic.
And then they're all gathered around because it's become a bit of an entertainment spot. What's he going to do this time? And you can almost feel the frustration at the other line because now they're not biting anymore; they're laughing, which I think kicks this whole thing off. To be honest, because he's not getting the reaction he wanted. So I think Billy decides he wants to notch it up a gear, and sure the whole events take place.
Well, he killed before the phone calls, though.
Recent though, these phone calls have been going on for a while.
No,
they've not been going on for a while. Is that the whole point?
No, they had just started.
I thought the way they're talking, oh, it's this guy back again, and that they were almost that used to it that had been going on for like ages. That was the impression I got from the start.
Yeah, I don't think so because the whole
didn't
thing
give an exact timeline, but I just got the impression that it's the crank guy and they all gather around. It's almost like a bit of entertainment that they've just got that used to it and blasé. That they're not they're not reacting anymore the way he wants them to. Or did I pick us up wrong?
Yeah, I don't think so. Because I mean, the thing is, spoiler if you guys haven't seen a movie from the 1970s, he's calling from inside the house. Like he wasn't inside the house until he killed the first person.
Yeah, but I thought that was a recent thing, and I thought that was the whole of him knocking it up because he'd been calling them previously because they all knew who it was, that they expected it, but he'd only just come into the house that night, and that's what changed. That's where he changed up the game.
We'll have to think of that next time I'm watching it because I've never caught it that way.
Yeah, that's the way I was picking up that they're so blasé, but this is him now escalating, and with the poor wee girl that went missing and stuff, and now he's moving forward, but he'd been doing this for a while. That's what I was getting from it. And I was just wondering if it was because he wasn't getting the reaction. Now he's like, well, I'm going to cause him proper terror.
Well, the thing was,
we don't know because we never meet Billy. That's a beautiful thing.
We do.
We don't get.
We do.
Sort of, but
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I had to argue this shit with my roommate because he had never seen it before, and yeah, it's Christmas time, so we watched it,
Hmm.
and that was the thing. He was pissed at the end. He's like, "We didn't even fucking see the guy." It's like, yes, we do. We see the guy. We see his fucking face. Like,
Yeah,
he's in this.
but what I mean is, he's not. You know, way normally the character's explained, or it's who is it,
Mhm.
and it's somebody you know. We don't know him.
Well, I think that's the real horror of it.
Yeah,
Is
that's what I
like
mean.
it's
That's
never
I'm
explained.
not
Yeah,
saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's fucking great. I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying more, please. Calm down, for fuck's sake.
Right? No, I agree. Yeah, that's how it should be. It's like we don't
Yeah,
need to have shit wrapped up at the end of the
we
movie.
saw
Like,
his face, but we
cool.
don't know who he was. So we don't meet Billy. He's there, but and the only reason we know he's Billy is because he's in the credits. You know what I mean? That's the whole terrifying thing. He's a random person that's fixated on these girls, and yeah. Well, hell, person. I think Cameron's broke his computer again. Like, he's kicked his, he's fucking kicked his computer. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. He got himself all wound up over nothing. He's went and broke his computer. That's brilliant. But yeah, I got this whole thing that we don't know who Billy is. Like, the only reason we do is because he's in the credits, but nobody in the cast. He's not somebody that's standing amongst them. It's not your usual murder mystery of you know who the killer is, that sort of thing, which is very thrillers and police procedures and that. You kind of know you meet the killer and that's you're trying to determine who it is. Same with slashers, there's always like an explanation because the character becomes the trope. You know, that's what they're trying to build the franchise on. This is purely a standalone movie, though there could be a sequel, but it's designed as a standalone movie of this is somebody random who will then disappear into the night and you'll have no clue who it is. And yeah, that concept is terrifying. If you think of true crime stuff, if you think of the known serial killers, they're only the top portion of the ones that have got caught. You think of what goes on in the world, the ones that don't get caught and might be still out there. You know, that is unsettling. You know, we're supposed to be in this great civilized society, and yet there's stuff happens every day that we've no control over, and we can't. Uh, we'll never find them, or there might be murders happen that we'll never find the culprit for. You know, and they might be still walking amongst us, and that whole concept is frightening. Did you
Oh yeah.
kick the computer? Did you get yourself that wound up? You kicked the computer?
Nope. But for comedy's sake, we'll say yes.
Yeah, because that's what I
Little
told everybody. I said you just
little
went.
fucker that I just let out apparently knocked it loose again, and it just fell out this time. So I need to duct tape my fucking outlet or some shit.
Good.
I mean, god damn it, stuff and words. I'm angry.
I don't know why, because I'm like praising this movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Particularly-
I didn't take it as any other way.
How dare you enjoy this movie? Fucking hate it now, so we can have a
We're
proper
not used to
fight.
this. Us agreeing on shit. It's fucking weird.
It happens sometimes.
Rarely.
Oh my. My favorite character in this is Mrs. Mac.
Oh man, she's
She is.
the fucking greatest. Because it's like surface level, you could tell something's off. And then that first time you see her behind closed doors where she's taking a wee nip, it's like, ah, yes, this bitch is awesome. And just so fucking angry and pissed to be there, but keeps that facade up. The best is her interactions with the dad. Like, I fucking love that shit.
She wanted to jump his bones.
Yeah. Equal parts jump his bones / smack him in the fucking head.
Probably,
So
yeah,
funny.
probably in that rough stuff where she punches, gives him a few punches in the face, you know,
Right.
like train spotting, you know, what's my name, bitch?
Yeah,
Oh,
good
dear.
good
But
times.
that is such a thing in like the 70s. That's why social services went into overdrive in the UK because there were loads of Mrs. Max in charge of kids, which really shouldn't have been allowed. like worse. But I remember my old school caretaker. We had a youth club on like a Tuesday night in my primary school, and God, he had come in and he was sozzled. Like, just I mean, you're like 5 paces away, the booze of his breath and stuff, and you're like, fucking hell. Just
Oh, that's
nobody gave
great.
I was just Jackie. Nobody gave a shit. Ah, it's just Jackie. That's just the way he is. The drink got to him. Ha ha ha. You know, that's it.
Such a different time.
Oh dear, such a time to be alive. Didn't do us any harm.
Yeah, exactly. You're still around. You're fine.
We're not fucking whining and falling apart at the least little word.
Yeah.
We got proper slapped about.
Right. Yeah, I mean, far be it for me to judge somebody's life and shit they've gone through, but yeah, it's like get smacked around a little bit and then tell me words are hard.
Yeah.
It's like I did, like when my parents were mad, I didn't get yelled at or scolded. Like I got hit.
And if somebody came to your door and complained, you got hit and put in, even if you didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it, Oh, yeah, fun times. But yeah, we got Mrs. Mac. She's going around. She's like every cliche, like the whiskey cut out of the book.
Oh God, it just all her hiding spots throughout the house. It's slapsticky fun every time she's by herself and trying to pull a bottle out of something else. So goddamn funny.
Yeah. Thing is, I've seen that in real life, so yeah.
Yeah, it's not funny when it's real.
Yeah, it's like,
definitely not funny when it's real.
dear. But yeah, the sister and whiskey was just okay. Yeah, right. Yum yum. Let's have some of
that. Oof. So much sherry. It's like, man, that's
heartburn.
Good for a nip, but to get tanked off of, I don't know about that.
That's it. That's heartburn. Like,
yeah, 100%. Like she's got to have an iron stomach, man. That'd be rough.
Yeah. And Barb's, and this is like her apprentice.
Oh yeah, she's
Mrs. Mac is hiding it, but she's just plain sight.
Yeah, no, she's from the first introduction. She is just pounding them back.
It's the decanter with the fucking bourbon, just walking about.
Yeah, I mean that's she fucking knows how to party.
Yeah, she has the best line in this whole movie. Ho ho ho! Fuck. That's how I feel every year.
Yeah. That whole scene, it's so. Wait. I forget. Did she say that at the Christmas party, like with the kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, like
I just watched this like
lips and stuff as well.
Ago. Yeah. Yeah. I love that scene because it's such nonsense, especially the fact that there's a fucking, for no good reason, there's a split diopter shot that is so glaring that it's a split diopter shot. And it's like, why? That was not necessary at all, but I fucking love it.
I can't really say anything bad about this movie. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is they've tried Christmas movies, and yeah, you feel like they're trying too hard. This isn't trying too hard.
No.
This is just in the zone at the moment. They're going about it. I can actually feel the characters, like, not in the mood. Yeah, we'll have to go through all this shit, but we're really not in the mood. Just come on, get on with it already, sort of thing. And I'm sympathetic.
Yeah, that is the thing with this. It's like it feels like a real Christmas experience. Because it's like that nobody fucking likes Christmas that much. I mean, there's a few weirdos out there, but for the most part, it's something that we do because we're forced to. And all these people act like that.
Yeah, it's a hassle. It's just, what was somebody telling me earlier? And it makes sense. It's because it goes on for so long. Every other holiday is a couple of days, lead up everything else, and it's over and done with.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas just fucking drags on and on. Like, it started in September.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, give it a fucking break, would you? And you're just, And if you're anyway in the customer service industry or anything else, you're just pounded.
Yeah,
And
fuck that shit.
yeah, it's like, no. And it's the most contrived thing is the Christmas party. I hate that. The works do. Where everyone that you don't really get on with and etc. all of a sudden have to go to this thing. And if you don't, you're the worst in the world, and they make a big thing of it. And you're like, for fuck's sake, why? What do we have in common?
Yeah.
To sit in a bar or sit in a meal together, it doesn't make sense. This is painful. You're this position, you have to go, you have to show. No, I don't. Fuck off.
Yeah.
And everyone's bitching. And I mean, especially in workplaces where everyone bitches about each other. You know, when somebody leaves and everyone starts bitching about them, and then they come back in, they're all nice and friends, and then someone else leaves, you all bitch. You know, why would you go out voluntarily in your own time and spend money, or even if the company's paying for it,
Right.
why would you voluntarily go out in your own time and spend social time with these sort of people when all you're doing is trying to just earn a living and get on with life?
Right. So I've been pretty lucky. I mean, I throw Christmas parties every now and then for my work, but we're all friends. So, you know, it is what it is. Like this last year, we rented out a theater, 502. And yeah, we just got drunk and watched Krampus. It was
Is that
fantastic.
back open again?
Yeah. And it's cheaper. It's basically like an Airbnb now. So you take care of everything yourself, which yeah, it was great. But even before then, like the only other Christmas parties I did was at a print shop that I worked at, and that shit was hilarious because I was young as hell. I think I was like 18 or 19 when I was working there, and I was the only person that worked there that couldn't get drunk, so everybody else got fucking drunk as hell, and it was so funny because like, wow, you guys are all responsible adults until Christmas Eve. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think it's probably all part of the contrived shite that you have to go through. And this movie, like I said, just sums it up.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Hey Chris, how are you, man? Happy New Year to you as well.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, but I don't even know how they got roped into this. Must have been for extra credit or something. Have to go.
Well, so it was
do a
a charity
thing.
thing. Yeah, that's what it was. It was a charity thing because the sorority has to do charity things.
Oh right, okay. Like I'm not familiar with sorority culture or.
Oh yeah, like you're not. Fuck, come on, dude. It's you
What?
and me. You don't have to lie to me.
We don't have that over here. I come from a
Hey,
civilized country.
but you were.
Well, not lately.
I was gonna say, let's not go crazy. Nah, you were here long enough. You're basically a Yankee.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, I really fit it in. Like, I didn't call people dumb Yanks and stuff to their face. Go, what the fuck are you talking about, you idiot? And have people like freaking out at me. The best thing when you go talk about the Space Jesus cult in front of members of the Space Jesus cult.
Yeah, man, you moved to the right fucking state to experience the states.
That was fucking special. And me being me, I'm like I said, I'm the square peg. Always have been. I don't fit in anywhere. I just sort of, and they got little grain of sand in the eye, or the stone in your boot. You know, that's me. Just sort of going through the world. And it can be fun at times, but
yeah,
they're doing this charity thing, and they're like, "How did we get roped into this?" Like they're just questioning, "Oh fuck, we got to go through this," and then Barb's is just being quality.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we find out that a young girl's went missing because she didn't come home, and then that's.
Well, and this is like some major small town olden America type shit. Like, oh,
well, it's set in Canada.
The girl's America Junior. Sorry, but it's like that's not the kind of shit. Like nowadays, nobody gives a fuck. Oh, unless they're missing for 48 hours, they don't even fucking do anything about it. And this is like, oh, she's an hour late coming home from school. That's like, clearly we need to get out the guns and the torches and go find her.
Yeah, the sort of community spirit sort of thing.
Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. Definitely.
No. A thing that got me though was Were they Beagle Doberman mixes? I
I
have
was
not
looking
seen
at that
Beagles
note,
that color.
it's like I don't fucking remember what the hell they looked like. As soon
They're
as I
basically
saw that,
they're
I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Beagles, but they've got the Doberman pincher coloration.
Hmm.
Like they're pure Beagle shape size,
Mm-hmm.
but they're colored in like they're Dobermans.
I mean, they could just be Canadian beagles.
Could be. It's just I'm looking at them going, when you're sort of scratching your head going, bloody hell.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't Bassets or anything. They weren't any. They were definitely Beagles. I've had a Beagle, and they're amazing. Not a dog if you want something placid, by the way.
No. No.
They are pure hyper bundles of just howling joy. They'll smell something from 5 miles away and get excited. And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
what the hell? Like, amazing dogs. But they're such a great temperament. But like I said, these were not typical Beagles. These were something else. And I don't know, I thought it was a strange mix.
Yeah, it's funny. I've never really considered it, but it's like part of the reason why I love doing this show is seeing your notes and being like, okay, next time I watch this movie, I need to watch it with this in mind and actually consider this shit.
Yeah, I've such a rod the brave. What can I say? Yeah. It's the little things I got that sort of pique my interest, and I'm like, oh, okay, right, okay, that's a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you always wonder what their, the process of putting them together, and obviously there certain companies have animals, that you use for movie sets and stuff, and process, and you just wonder how it all comes together. And why haven't I never seen this particular breed? I'm sure it would be quite popular. But there you go. But meanwhile, this is setting up that the young girls got missing, but then Claire, isn't it, is the first victim?
Mm-hmm.
And once again, with the use of the point of view camera, there's something about the 70s did it so well.
Yeah,
The
it
point
didn't
of view camera and
feel off. Like it built the suspense because it's like we're getting a point of view of the killer itself, and yeah, it was great.
and she spends the entire movie her character spends the entire movie sitting in the attic
Mm-hmm.
with a
Just
bag over her
watching.
head, just
Yeah.
rotting away, getting ripe.
Well, it's Canadian winter, and I can't imagine the loft is heated, so could theoretically keep her nice and chill.
Yeah, my great uncle, he couldn't be buried to the spring. Like he passed, got this years ago, obviously when I was a kid, but it was like November, December time,
Mm-hmm.
and they couldn't bury him until the spring. They had to put him in cold storage because it literally couldn't get through the girth.
Damn.
It has the permafreeze where he was. Where was he? Calgary direction. Yeah, and that was the thing. They actually can't bury people because when winter hits, that's it, game over. They
Yeah,
have to
man.
sort of wait, and it's part of the culture.
Yeah, it's definitely gets entirely too fucking cold up there.
Yeah. We've got basically, you'd think this would be the start of it. Once the first kill happens, you'd think it would just be a rampage from them because that's generally what you expect from a slasher movie.
Mm-hmm.
But no, this movie's taking its time and letting it actually, you feel like the time's passed for somebody to be noticed that they're going
Mm-hmm.
missing. And Claire's father appears, and obviously Mrs. Mac decides she wants to be his best friend. But it's just the actual realization. You feel like you're going through real time in this movie. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
feel slow. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, and that's I feel like that's what makes the horror of this that much better is it shows the reality of life. Like everything helping around it, whereas traditional slasher, it's like everything's focused on the killer and the kills. Whereas that's sort of something that's happening in the background. So it ramps it up because, life is mundane, but yet this thing could be happening and you don't even realize it.
Mhm.
Because it's not until the dad shows up that they realize that she's missing, because she was planning on fucking leaving because it's Christmas break.
Yeah, and we're actually slowly seeing it. It's not like, immediately and rush.
Yeah.
It's still it's great with the pacing. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Is the pacing of this
Mhm.
is really good. You're not feel like all of a sudden, all right, we've got to ramp this up and go ahead. It's
Yeah, because I mean that really only happens in maybe the last 10 minutes, and it's earned.
mhm. um Mrs. Mack's demise though. I'm kind of wondering how that worked. Like that
Talking
was
about the hook.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, so
That's the only bit that
that's
had me about. I'm trying to figure out going.
I could see it being in the sense of like, it's a loft, like you've got some shitty stairs to go up to get it, to get in there, and that's essentially where you store stuff. So it would make sense to have some big pulley hook to get heavier items up there. So it's like that's how I've kind of justified this giant fucking hook just hanging around. Like,
It was like
why?
something off a warehouse or like a ship,
Yeah.
a ship, a docking thing of a ship.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
it's
the way he manages to catch her so expertly with it and stuff, I'm like, bloody
yeah.
hell. If that was
he's
me,
he's an
I'd be
expert.
like, it would take me about 6 goes.
Right, it's like she's gonna die from the blunt force trauma, not actually getting stuck.
Yeah. that was only better. Like, holy crap! Yeah, that was a bit of plot armor. Yeah, that. Do you remember old scary attics like this? Like this felt realistic.
Mhm.
All the crap and stuff, and the feathers still in the bird cage and stuff,
Mhm.
and that like they didn't bother cleaning it out before they put it up and all, and you're like, oh, like you'd expect a gateway to hell to be up there or something, just
Oh,
not
yeah, absolutely. Like, it's guaranteed that it's fucking haunted.
definitely not anyway. But yeah, but essentially, I love the way he was so obvious about it as well. Like, there's a taxi driver outside. There's every chance he could get caught, but he does it on any roads.
Mhm.
Like, Billy is obviously not in the right frame of mind.
No.
Yeah, I know. Imagine, but he's not methodical in
Mhm.
terms of he's not a careful serial killer. He doesn't care. I think whether he gets caught or not. He just
Yeah.
needs to fulfill his desire. Like this guy is purely. He's not somebody you can reason with, or
Mhm.
talk to, or understand. He's gone. He's just pure malevolence.
Mhm. Yeah, it's malevolence and chaos.
Mhm.
That's all he is.
Yeah, and I think that's a part of the horror aspect. That this is something you can't deal with.
Mhm.
And that's it. End of story. He's decided this is what he's going to do, and if you're going to make yourself available, he's going to do it to you,
Mhm.
and that's it. And he doesn't care whether there's a taxi driver out. He doesn't even wait. Like it's not like he grabbed Mrs. Mack and held her and waited for the taxi driver to go. He didn't care whether the taxi driver came up or not. He'd probably have taken him out as well.
Yeah.
Left the taxi outside and not cared. That's the sort of person he is, and we see that all in this scene.
Mhm. Well, and we even see it further on, like when he just straight up kills a cop in front of the fucking house.
Yeah, and leaves it
Like
there.
in their car. Like
Yeah,
it's that is the last place you want to leave a dead cop, is in their fucking cop car in front of the house that you're occupying.
yeah, he just does not care.
Mhm.
We then get the thing where Jess decides to drop it on Peter, which um that's basically she's carrying his baby and she's going to get rid of it and she doesn't want to
Mhm.
marry him and stuff.
Yeah.
Right before his recital. To me, that seemed a bit callous.
Yeah, definitely. It's like you wait to tell somebody that kind of shit after the most important thing in their life is going to happen. Because she even talks about that, how, like when we first met, this was all you had ever talked about. This is all you wanted. Like he's in a fucking program where he lives there, where he's constantly practicing. So it's like, maybe wait until he does this big thing that his entire life is, built towards, and then drop that shit on him.
But
Or just do the rational thing and not tell him, because you're getting
yeah,
a
that's
fucking abortion
that's
anyways.
where my mind was going. Right, she made it clear when she talked to him, she's no interest in being in a long-term relationship or marrying him or anything. This is just a fling. Why should tell him? And this is
Yeah.
where I don't have sympathy for Jess as a character. She comes across as somebody who likes playing games. There's a nastiness to her.
See, I don't necessarily see it as that. Like, the thing is, in my opinion, other than obviously the context in which she told him, she did what she should have done. She should have been honest with him, open with him, and all that stuff. Because the thing was, it's not like she wanted to end the relationship. She just wanted to be like, hey, this is what's happening. I'm doing this. You should know because you're semi-involved. And then the whole marriage thing, and she's like, I'm not getting married. I'm not having a kid. Like, this is good where it's at, but I have a life I'm trying to build too. You can either be a part of that or you can go fuck yourself. That's kind of how I saw it.
I don't know. I think, like I said, no self-awareness, like picking that exact moment. Now, I know maybe it's
Yeah, the
partly
moment was
plot
fucked.
device, partly plot device, but
Mhm.
if she's claiming to be as empathetic toward her understanding of where he's at, she wouldn't have done that.
No,
She'd have
it
let him
was,
done his recital and done it the day after.
yeah, it was pretty fucked, especially because it's like it had to be right before, couldn't be
Yeah.
right after.
But then they set Peter up, oh, is Peter going to be the killer? It's like, no, that's too obvious.
Yeah.
But yeah, that recital was painful.
Yeah, that was clearly this dude. He snapped, and he's going to take everybody else with him.
They just that moment. And you almost wonder, was there? That's why I'm thinking there was a bit of nastiness and intent to screw it up or something. You just don't understand somebody that would do something like that.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see why that came across that way to you.
Yeah. It was like, okay, by the way, I'm not going to be in your life anymore. This is a fling or what, and see ya. Just, yeah. Oh, God. What else is, he does a couple of more phone calls, doesn't he?
Mhm.
And this is where they're
Yeah,
starting
'cause
to wonder
it
that Claire's missing. They're starting to get worried.
Mhm. Yeah, 'cause it starts off, the first couple times, they're upset, but it's a joke, especially because Barb's fucking hilarious. And then it's as soon as it's just Jess taking the calls and not really anybody else is there, that's when it's really starting to ramp up. And yeah, that's when we're getting the introduction of Billy's different voices.
Thing gets me. We know as the audience that he's in the house, and it gets dropped earlier on that there's two telephone lines, which was a thing back then, kids.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's not just two two phones, it's
That was
two
a
completely separate lines.
that was a big thing actually.
Mhm.
That was not cheap.
No, that was bougie as fuck. Like, I
Yeah,
never had that as a kid. Like, it wasn't until we all started getting cell phones that was a thing.
I did, but then I had a part-time job and I paid for it. And that's all I paid for. That was it. I worked I worked in a paper shop on weekends and stuff, and that's what the money paid for was my phone line, so I could use a dial-up.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Oh, and that's the other fun thing, kids, dial up.
Yeah, but
The
just free anyway. So.
first of that shit. Like, you're sending an email, and then somebody picks up the phone and calls somebody, and it shuts it off. And it's like, well, fuck.
Go
Or
on.
vice versa. Somebody's on the phone, and you start trying to look up. Yeah, funny
Yeah.
shit, man. I don't miss those days.
Yeah, but that was sort of dropped that Mrs. Mac has her own telephone line, so we know Billy's in the house. What I can't get my head over is he is obviously doing this full volume down the phone line, and nobody's picking up, like not hearing the squealing and screaming.
I mean,
Because
it's
this is
just
essentially somebody going apeshit on the other end of the phone. You would hear that in the house.
it's the testament to the size and the insulation of that house.
Like honestly, you would be hearing that, like, and how do you do the goat noises? They were
Yeah, man, that
impressive.
was like he's you know, if he doesn't have a job in killing, he's definitely got a job in voiceover.
I was thinking Jones out of Police Academy.
Yeah, definitely.
Who the actor can actually do that in real life, which is amazing.
Good old Michael Winslow.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, just. And then we meet Sergeant Nash when
Oh
they're
man.
trying to carry out the. Busy trying to find out what's happened to Claire.
Mm-hmm.
I
Good
love the way as
old
well. Barb's
John
is just
Saxon,
can of
man.
beer, like middle of the police station, no fucks given whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just God, she's so great. Just drunk through the entire movie, does not give a fuck, smoking constantly. Fantastic character.
Yeah, but she's a comic relief. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah.
This is a grim movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a seriously grim movie, and it doesn't pull any punches. And the only thing we don't see as a kid, that was murdered, but the fact is that they break the cardinal rule as well of, yeah, kids aren't safe either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is not messing about. So Barb's character is there for the comic relief. It's just to let you come down a notch.
Yeah. Well, in the lead up to her death too, it's because of the fact that she is the comic relief, it makes it that much, worse because we, find out that she's asthmatic. And that's a terrifying thing, having a fucking asthma attack. It's like your body's literally suffocating you. So the horror of that, and then the fact that she gets fucking stuck in her room when she's trying to sleep off everything. Yeah, it just makes it that much worse.
Yeah, it was just a poignant moment because then that's where it's going full serious now. Okay, yeah, we've dragged along, but now it's time for the horror.
Yeah.
That's it. No, the safety net's getting dropped now. Barb's gone. There was another movie, and I couldn't for the life of me remember it. And I think it was earlier than this, where there's a killer and they're calling from the same house. It's almost beat for beat the scene, but it's not this one. And it was the big reveal that they were in another room or something. God, I should have looked it up. But they do another switch around as well. Like, you start to wonder if it is Peter, because he just happens to appear at a certain time, and then there was the fact that they were saying, "Oh, couldn't possibly be him," makes you start thinking it is him, even though that they. And it's not very often in the movie that misdirect works.
Yeah, especially because it's like
done. But I actually started doubting myself.
We know it's not him because we actually see like the one glimpse we get of Billy, we get before essentially he gets his ass kicked and thrown out the house. So it's like that they're trying to misdirect you and you actually buy it, even though you know for a fucking fact he's not Billy.
But then again, I'm thinking Psycho.
Yeah, that's got to be what you're thinking of, because it's funny, I looked it up and that's actually the first thing that pops up was Black Christmas, about the killer in the house type thing.
What if it wasn't?
It must have been, because I mean that is one of the classic misdirects. I mean, it's fucking Hitchcock, so it's perfection anyways.
Could be. Oh well, there you go. That's what I've watched too many movies in my time, especially at the young age.
Definitely one or two in your day.
Yeah. The number of horror movies I've watched as a kid, and the plots are just rolling around in my head. And there's loads of ones I'll never be able to tell you the title of, and they were great. And I'd love to visit them. Like there's one in particular. I remember this girl. She's a ghost, and the main protagonist in it, she lost her child, and she latches onto this ghost and she says, "Stay with me." She ends up. The last scene's her in a chair, stabbed to death, and I cannot for the life of me remember that movie. I've watched shitloads like them, and I think they're all like a 70s era. God, there's another one where the killer basically encases his victims in bronze. I think I've called it up a couple of times. That's another classic 70s movie with this sort of camera work, and really brings in the dread. Like there's a particular one, one of the girls gets acid thrown in her face, and it's no messing about. And this movie, Black Christmas, just falls into that. It's just that style of filmmaking that they wanted to make a serious movie. Martin, there's another example.
Yeah.
Great movie. The only thing that ruins that's the blood effects. If they could tone the blood down, that didn't look like paint, it'd be fantastic.
Gotta love that good old fucking 3M blood from that era.
Yeah. That's the only thing, that's the only thing that would ever need touched up is just tone that down a bit. So it actually looks like something that would coagulate. Yeah, that was the plan for the day here, but I'm not seeing it until the New Year's Day. It's not getting released here until
he doesn't get to, so
I don't get to play.
Yeah.
God,
maybe next month.
I'm hearing good things too.
Dude, it is so fucking good, man. That's it. That's all I'm saying. It's fucking good.
Fucking angry. Annoyed. It's the one I've been looking forward to this year.
Yeah, and of course you're gonna get it next year.
Yeah, because
so stupid.
Oh man. And I wonder why people go yar.
That's the thing, like, and it's so fucking stupid because it can't be more than just pressing a single button to shoot it everywhere all at once, and then nobody has to steal it. You can watch it legally.
Yeah, just we've had this conversation. Like, it's just stupidity and the executives.
Yeah,
because they still think it's 1980. And or even during when the releases were, the premieres were, the actual cast traveling to each cinema to do in each city, they still think it's that era. They forget it's the 21st century.
Right.
Ah, dear. Yeah, when Sergeant Nash makes the announcement, like on the phone, and even he's fucked up at many times, even because John Saxon's in this as well, which is great, playing another police lieutenant typecast.
Yeah, I know, it's so crazy that John Saxon's a police officer.
Yeah,
who would have ever thought?
Almost the same. I was almost going to call up shop by shop between this and Nightmare on Elm Street just to see if he actually had the same costume on. That's his gig economy. He just goes about the same costume.
Right, it's not even a costume at this point. That's just what he wears.
Yeah,
it's just fucking Charles Bronson in anything. He's the same fucking person. Yeah,
it was God, it was Stan Lee did an interview and he was talking about this. When he did like cameos and stuff, they'd bring him in and they'd have a replica of the clothes he was actually wearing. Right, you could change this, but I'm wearing this. No, but you have to get changed in this. But why can't they just go and set with this? No rules, blah blah blah. You have to actually get changed into the exact same clothes that we have bought for you to go and do this 5-minute cameo. And he's like, "What? Fucking stupid."
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, this is where it just all kicks off. Like I said, the cop's been killed and just left out there. That Billy is just unhinged, like force of nature.
Oh yeah.
I'm in the Golden Ash. You better not fuck this up. All you have to do is make a phone call. Can you do that without fucking it up?
Yeah, so fucking.
Oh, the fellatio.
Oh yeah, The good old call handles.
Yes.
Oh, it's a new one. It's new. And just the cops fucking losing it, or the detectives, sorry, losing their
Yeah.
minds over him being that stupid.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, I see. It's probably something dirty, huh? And then they fucking lose their shits and he just walks off.
Yeah, but can you make a phone call without messing up? No. He's in the house. He's in the house. Ah, run.
Right? Yeah. Call her. Don't freak her out. Have her get out of the house. Yeah. It's there's definitely a much more subtle way to do it.
You can see him actually going, no, but I've been told not to freak you out. Please don't freak.
Yeah. So good.
We've all worked with people like that, though.
Mm-hmm.
We've all know the Nashes. We've all encountered those sort of folks, and you're just like, oh, why? Why are you on this planet? What, are you just here to make my life hell? Are you here to make everything difficult? Sometimes you're better just not having staff and somebody that can. You're better just doing it yourself. So everything just kicks off. I love that bolt. I want one of those for the cellar.
Mm-hmm.
Like that thing is just nobody's getting in. Like that's guard
not without
safes, crown jewels,
a
whatever.
fucking ton of C4.
Cunk. I'm like, okay. Like that was plot armor. That door had plot armor.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we then get Peter. He turns up. Just in case you were thinking he was or wasn't. You know, at this stage, we'll know he's not. You know, it's not even.
Yeah, man, he's such a fucking creepy dude. Like, oh, yeah, I was up there taking a nap because you weren't home like you were supposed to be. I was like, what the fuck, dude? You just walk into random houses and take a nap in someone else's bed? Like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, especially when there's supposed to be rules and stuff. Like like we even start off when there's rules, right? All the boys out. It's after this time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even Mrs. Max, like, well, she doesn't care, but she's like, we'll have to play by the rules, you know, or else I get sacked. Yeah. It's like they're trying too hard at this point with his character. I think actually they could have just had him out at this point. He didn't really add anything.
Mm-hmm.
With plenty going on, but in the scheme of things, it's not that much to nitpick about. Because, like I said, this is a really gripping, good movie. It's just he's more of a blip that they were trying to do something with it, and they tried a bit too hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was definitely the misdirect, and they set it up in a way that it's still like, you almost question. It's like, is it possible? It's like we've seen Billy at this point.
Yeah,
we know that's not Billy, but they still keep hammering it home. Like, well, maybe it is.
Yeah, that's after the second time I was fine, but when I'm actually kicking the window in and getting into the basement and stuff, I was like, nah, they're not. You kind of knew where it was going. Shame, but yeah, at the very end of it, Billy was great. Just and never gets caught. But I just love the fact that an entire squad of police come in. It's a murder scene, but they just put her in bed and leave her. They don't search the entire house. Like, they found her in the basement, and they don't think to look in the attic.
Well, I mean, it's Canada. It's different there. They're just like, oh, go to bed, okay? Sorry about that. It's like that's her hospital, I guess.
Oh dear. I was just you could just picture. I think Nash sets it all up. He just sets up, oh yeah, there are a lot of idiots here, so it wouldn't it wouldn't be beyond the realms of doubt that they wouldn't bother looking up. Oh, let's look up there. Where Mrs. Mac was caught by a hook and no blood dripped whatsoever.
Well, I mean, it was a really thick, girthy hook that probably stopped the blood somehow, maybe.
Just like the chances of making that shot. Just all the arms coming into place, and the fact she was just left there as well.
I mean, would you fuck up that perfection?
No, you wouldn't. You just like, yes, that's
it's like, damn, I was gonna do some shit to her, but never mind.
Result. Yeah, and that's basically it. We're just left that I don't think Jess is going to have a good night's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, oh, it's all safe now. Yeah, but we don't know exactly what's happened. We're not search the area, and yeah,
Yeah, I love the bleak, ambiguous ending like that. Like, it's just there's no happy ending, and that's great. You don't see that often enough in movies.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is this why did they break the mold so early? Was it just these are unpalatable? Was it become was the happy clappiness of the 80s that these became unpalatable and they had to like fluffy them up? And that's why we got the silly
See,
slashers.
I don't think it was that. I think it was just the studio's understanding that the audiences for those kinds of films were literally just going to see people get murdered. Like, they wanted to see the Fangoria moments because you would get that, months in advance of the release of the film, of like the set visits, the pictures of the effects and all that stuff. And it's like, that's what you were going for. You were going to see, the latest and greatest of special effects. Like, you weren't going for a story. Yes, there was a story, but that was just in the way. It's like going to a hockey game. Like, hockey's cool and all, but you go to see motherfuckers get punched in the face. And then every now and then there's a game that happens.
I suppose fair enough. Like I said, I miss this style of movie making.
Mm-hmm.
I miss this style of storytelling.
Yeah.
And it's something they should look at. Don't redo this movie.
No, that's there's been 2 remakes. One was meh. The other, I would like to stab everybody involved with it. But yeah.
But
Don't
this
watch them.
style of movie making needs to come back. Like don't just do it 20 times in a row. I want to go back to the time where we had a mix of different types of movies throughout the year. And if you got a repeat of a particular style, it wasn't for like a year or two's time, but there were still movies in between. I hate the fact that you get one thing that might land and then it just gets beaten to death. Then they pick another thing and they beat it to death. And I think that's why we're so drained now. Because this rinse and repeat sort of style of filmmaking, they just, okay, you like that thing, so here, have it 30 times till you're sick of it.
Yeah.
Oh, we literally can't go any further forward. Let's pick another thing. Have that 30 times till you're sick of it. I'm fed up with that.
It's a fucking Disney model, man. They're failing for a fucking reason.
Yeah, the sooner that company just dies, honestly, it just needs to implode, go bust, and just everything is bought up, just get broken up again.
Right.
I think we need to step away from Hollywood. We need to start getting the medium budget films again.
Well, the problem is, if you don't have Hollywood, you don't get medium budget films. That's where the budget comes from.
And there's nobody else with money. Nobody.
Well, they're the reason why people are able to find the people with money, like the private equity and shit. Like, unfortunately, like, yes, I hate the Hollywood system just as much as the next guy, but it's been around for over 100 years for a reason, because that's how shit gets done.
I just think there's got to be a way. Just there's no people that can convince others with money here, fund these projects here. This is something different. This is off the beaten track.
I mean, it happens from time to time, but it's not. The thing is, I understand it because, say, I have money, and somebody who is proven to be able to take that money and make it back with some for decades, if not centuries, like, if they've done that, I'm going to feel more comfortable giving them my money than somebody else who's never done that before, regardless of whether, first person has the means to do it, but the other person has the drive to do it. Like, I'm going to go with the safe option because I know I'm going to make my money back and then some, versus I might just give this person money and never see a dime back.
Yeah.
So again, I understand. I don't like it, but I understand.
It's frustrating. I just don't know how it would change. Like, I don't want to be one of these people. Oh, movies were so great back in the day, and you know what I mean. I don't want to be that. I want to see new stuff.
Mhm.
I want to see it continue. I want to see. You've got your beige, generic movies, but I hate the fact that a movie like this couldn't happen today. Is basically the point I'm trying to make, because everything is just so beige and slack that there's no room for it. It's squeezed out, and I don't know how we get back to reintroducing this again.
Mhm.
And maybe it just needs to be a massive collapse. The only way, cleanse and fire, so to speak. Maybe it just needs to go bust. That people, it just needs to just Great Depression of uh entertainment, so it can restart. Maybe it needs to be that drastic.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem with that is if we actually have that collapse, it's gonna be years before we get anything. It'll be a
True,
dark,
but
dark time.
long time though. No, I mean, people don't stop making things. It doesn't stop. But I think something drastic needs to happen, because it's just depressing just to see that at one point people were inventive, and there was enough room for people to push the envelope with movies like this, and
Well,
it
the thing
had
is, though,
space in between everything else.
that hasn't really changed, though. I mean, yes, we get a lot more fluff now than we did. It's definitely not equal by any means, but I mean, it's still that's something. We'd have some fucking fluffy rom-com come out the same time as Rosemary's Baby or the Amityville Horror. Like there's examples of there being shit that just disappears into the cultural vernacular. Like we don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but
And
that's fine. That keeps
it's
bums and seats. That keeps the normies happy. That's fine. But you always felt like, even up to the 90s, you always felt like there was room for both. I just don't
I,
feel like there's room for both now. I just feel like the sludge, the beigeness has overtaken everything, and it
I don't know,
will have
man. I
no.
I go to the movies like at least once a month, and it's always to see horror, and majority of the time it's pretty damn decent. Like, I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm an optimist by any means, but it's like the thing is, you look at any random year, and you could easily compare it to this year or last year or next year, where the stuff that we appreciate, that's what's going to live on. That's what's going to build the cult following. That's 10, 20 years from now, that's going to be some obscure shirt maker is selling shirts of that movie
Mhm.
that wasn't necessarily well received, but all the movies that were the biggest and greatest hits of that year nobody even remembers. So it's I mean, of course, it's one of those things where it's looking back at it, you can see that pattern, not in the moment, but like, yes, we've got a slew of shit movies, but I mean, this year I've been happy with almost everything that I've seen in theaters, and that really hasn't changed too much.
What goes to show, I tried to look at other genres, and there's nothing I want to watch at all. Like, I still watch horror. That's the thing. I can
Mhm.
still watch horror movies, even though there's some I'll complain about, some I absolutely adore. Um, I'll still watch horror, but if you ask me what's a sci-fi movie that's come out this year, or what's a fantasy movie that's come out this year, no idea,
Mhm.
no interest. Obviously rom-coms and stuff, no interest in. But what's the latest comedy come out this year? Couldn't tell you. Doesn't even land on the radar.
Yeah.
Don't know. Maybe it's just that feeling. It mightn't be actually based on anything, but you just kind of feel like anything that doesn't fit into the homogenous blob is being just squeezed hard. It's not nice. No need
Yeah.
for it.
Well, I mean, that's part of the fun of not being the target demographic for stuff like that.
Hmm.
It's like we are the fans of the redheaded stepchild of cinema that is horror. Um, so it's like when that comes out, we champion it, we love it, we shout it from the rooftop. See this fucking movie. Might not be for me, might be for you. You don't get that with other genres because yeah, it's just kind of a one and done type of thing.
And plus, horror movies are the only ones actually making money, which is
Mm-hmm.
absolutely fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean that's literally what's
That's
kept the Hollywood alive since its inception.
like Terrifier 3 has to be the greatest example of that this year. Like that is a moment in history
Mm-hmm.
of screw you guys, you silly bastards.
Pretty much.
They're still scratching their head that, do you know what I mean? They couldn't stop that if they tried. That was a force of nature.
Mm-hmm.
But there you go, that's that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just think I'm too much in the news articles and stuff and that. I just you see all the shenanigans going on in the games and the fact that they're just trying to squeeze everybody out, especially in the social media space. No, I think it isn't the main because they're in their last legs, they're in trouble. So a wounded animal's most dangerous. And because I'm kind of there looking at it and seeing the kicking out and the lashing out and trying to silence people that just even say didn't make this movie because they're that desperate because think the castle's crumbling around them.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of listening, they're going the other route of just trying to like suppress people. Like I just noticed as well, trying to even get news articles and stuff, they're squeezing so much now that websites and all are getting buried. Fuck, this channel went and stand still for over a month and a half. Like nothing, not even one subscriber, just for a month and a half, not one extra subscriber. Everything then just started picking up again. So that wasn't people are finding this all the time, people aren't leaving. So there was something weird going on. No, I think I might be just a bit too much delved into all that, what's going on. Well, I feel a bit defensive about it.
That's fair.
There you go. Common sense has the reign. You can only be a complete idiot for so long before reality hits you in the face. And all
I don't know, man. There's a lot of people that pull that off for life.
Yeah, they tend to be. You tend to know who they are. You just leave them to it. But generally, we'll have to exist. And these companies, they can't keep doing what they're doing. They're losing too much. So who knows? Maybe common sense will prevail. I don't want horror to ever become mainstream because you see that with like Blumhouse and stuff. It's bland. And I don't want that. But I just want a fair crack of the whip.
Yeah, but
See stuff I want to see.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. Tell me that shit's not mainstream though.
Oh, that without a doubt, yeah. They were groundbreaking at the time. But
like that's just because it's mainstream doesn't mean it's a bad thing. That just means, oh, hey, we're going to throw more money at this to make more money. Like there's nothing wrong with
we did the whole
something picked
the
up.
40th anniversary there. We did the whole how that franchise went just down the plug hole. We'll see where that went when it becomes mainstream and pounder into the sort of normie crowd.
Dude, fucking Nightmare 3. Like, come on. You're going to tell me that was a shit movie.
No, that was my favorite one.
That's where it became mainstream.
Yeah, but it was afterwards.
No, like that's why they did Dream Warriors, because 1 and 2 were so well received that they're like, yeah, let's make some more money off this. And Freddy's funny, so let's make him funny.
Yeah. That was like I said, we had that whole discussion chasing the MTV crowd, which is great while it's there, but then once that crowd leaves, no, don't forget, Nightmare on Street is my favorite franchise.
Yeah, that's good shit.
But I can still recognize where it went completely mainstream, and wasn't what it was. And I don't want that. That's where it gets a bit ridiculous. And then sure enough, it then gets buried. But we'll see anyway. Let's just hope for the new year. We'll I just want interesting movies. I just want enough that interesting movies will come out and still have a chance to breathe and not being buried or just because the mainstream stuff isn't doing well that they want to lash out at the horror genre, because they're definitely on the radar after Terrifier 3 because that was embarrassing to them when the other clown movie lost like stupid amounts of money, hundreds of millions. But there you go. We'll see anyway. That was fun.
Yep, fingers crossed. 2025 is going to be a year of horror.
That's it. It has been a decent year.
Mhm.
I just want that to continue. Just want to, like I said, I don't want to be in squeeze out. I can see the things happening. And if Ridley Scott can fall down some stairs before Alien Earth comes out, I'd be greatly appreciated. If you could, buddy, just do the Exorcist type, out the window. Then we're going to have a good TV show to watch. There you go, folks. That's it for another one. Until next time, keep updated with the channel, do the type of things. And until next time, keep it creepy,
Keep
keep
it
it
horrific.
horrific.